Hello everyone, I am going to look at the third Draconis hero that we have here, which is Nyla. So like I just said, Nyla is from the new Draconis faction, also an intelligence-based hero. The class is support, and then the primary role is control. So let's start with the ultimate skill. It's called Bubble Dream. Nyla launches a giant bubble, captivating the nearest enemy and causes them to float for 6 seconds, prioritizing enemy heroes. During this time, they will lose 400 energy if their energy exceeds 900, breaking free from the bubble's control instantly. Nyla recovers 500 energy if her control fails. And level 2, after breaking free from the bubble's control, the target cannot recover energy for 5 seconds. If they break free prematurely, this duration extends to 7 seconds. And level 3, upon breaking free from the bubble's control, the target will plummet to the ground, taking damage worth 12% of their max health, capped at 640% of Nyla's attack rating. So just as the primary role for Nyla said, she will be control, and this one has quite a bit of crowd control in it, allowing the enemies to float for 6 seconds. And they will also lose quite a bit of energy as well. And Nyla will recover 500 energy, which I believe is half of the energy bar. And also with the level 3, this will allow this ability to take the enemies to take damage. And let's look at the second skill. We have Bubble Funland. Nyla conjures a bubble-filled playground on the battlefield for 20 seconds, reducing the tenacity of enemies within the area by 20 points. Multiple Bubble Funlands can exist at the same time. Level 2 reduces the tenacity by 30 points. Level 3 reduces it by 40 points. And then level 4, when the enemy escapes a giant bubble, it creates a Bubble Funland nearby. So just reducing the tenacity of the enemy heroes within the Bubble Funland. So that skill seems pretty simple. Let's look at the third skill. We have Bubble Maze. When an allied hero takes damage exceeding 8% of their max health, Nyla swings her staff, causing them to vanish and reappear in the furthest Bubble Funland. Simultaneously, the Bubble Funland erupts, dealing damage for 360% of Nyla's attack rating to nearby enemies and knocking them back slightly. And level 2, damage taken by allies within the Bubble Funland is reduced by 15%. If it's Nyla, the damage reduction is 30%. Level 3, the damage taken by allies within the Bubble Funland is reduced by 25%, and if that is Nyla, then the damage reduction is 50%. And then we have the first engraving skill. Upon reappearing in the Bubble Funland, the allied hero immediately gains a bubble shield that decays over 8 seconds, absorbing damage up to 100% of their max health. So the allies will appear in the furthest Bubble Funland away from the enemies, I'm assuming here, if they take 8% of their max health as damage. Also allowing those Bubble Funlands to deal damage to nearby enemies and also knocking them back. And then we have damage reduction for the allies and also Nyla if Nyla is the one taking the damage. And also with the first engraving skill, they will gain a shield up to 100% of their max health. So hopefully that shield will protect the allied heroes. I know sometimes the shields can be pretty useless at times, but hopefully the shield will be pretty useful. And let's look at the final skill. We have Menacing Bolt. When an enemy hero suffers reduced movement speed, pace, or control effects, Nyla's inner power unleashes one bolt uncontrollably. These bolts deal Dragon Speak damage for 220% of her allies' attack rating, which causes the effect capped at 330% of Nyla's own attack rating. This effect can trigger up to 4 times every 1 second, and level 2 increases the damage to 240% of her attack rating. Level 3, the damage is increased to 260% of her attack rating. And then we have the second engraving skill. For each 4 bolts fired, Nyla triggers Dragon's Fury, dealing Dragon Speak damage for 360% of her attack rating to the nearest enemy. This knocks them back to the battlefield's edge, causing them to lose 300 energy and stunning them for 4 seconds. So causing some damage here, which is pretty nice. Triggers up to 4 times every 1 second, so if you can get that to trigger 4 times every second here, that could be a lot of. And with this second engraving skill, I'm doing even more damage here, also causing the enemies to be knocked back to the battlefield's edge. Also doing some crowd control here with the second engraving skill and allowing the enemies to lose energy. So let's go ahead and look at the signature item. So unlocking the signature item, at the start of battle, a bubble seed is planted in the ally with the lowest health. When the carrier takes damage exceeding 8% of their max health, the seed immediately transforms into a bubble shield that decays over 8 seconds, absorbing damage up to 100% of their max health. At plus 10 every 10 seconds, Nyla will plant another bubble seed in the ally with the lowest health. Plus 20 at the beginning of battle, a bubble seed is planted in an enemy hero with the highest attack rating. When the carrier deals damage exceeding 8% of their target's max health, the bubble seed immediately transforms into a giant bubble that lasts for 6 seconds. At plus 30 every 10 seconds, Nyla will plant another bubble seed in the enemy hero with the highest attack rating. And then plus 40, Nyla gains 50% increased healing and takes 50% less damage from allies and enemies carrying bubble seeds. So allies with the seed will get a bubble shield, and then enemies with the bubble seed will get a giant bubble on them as well. And then also Nyla will gain 50% healing, also take 50% less damage from those heroes with bubble seeds, and that does include allies and enemies. So overall, a pretty cool signature item. Let's go ahead and look at the furniture. And the 3/3 furniture, if enemies linger in the bubble funland for more than 3 seconds, the bubble funland transforms into a giant bubble, controlling and suspending them in the air for 6 seconds. Each enemy can trigger this effect up to 1 time every 15 seconds. And then the 9 of 9, for each instance of damage dealt by heroes carrying bubble seeds, the attack power of Nyla's bolts permanently increases by 2%, capped at 200% max. So it sounds like you're going to want the enemies to be in the bubble funland for a long time so that they can get some more crowd control. Also, with the 9 of 9 buffing Nyla's bolts, increasing that attack power, that's a lot of attack power, especially with that cap 200%. That could do quite a bit of damage. So overall with Nyla, it sounds like she could do quite a bit of crowd control, which could be very useful for your teams. Also can do quite a bit of damage, it sounds like, as well on top of that crowd control. So it sounds like Nyla could be a very powerful hero. I think she could be pretty useful for teams. And if you like this video, then make sure to click the like button. Also subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video from me. And also comment what do you think about Nyla. And thanks for watching.